welcome to EVE Online. I'm going to give a review of the Alliance tournament as a whole, and the fact that my first opinion on it stands. It's a horrible. They haven't learned a damn thing about how to run an Alliance tournament. They have commentators that are just filler. They have camera work that is abysmal. They have a UI that pretty much fights against their camera person. They're not coordinating in a strategic way. Alliance tournaments, you can't learn anything about them for practical purposes by, hey, I want to watch the Alliance tournament because it might teach me something. It's not, because I suspect the commentators are watching the action by watching the main camera stream and not having somebody on field to be able to give. And if they do, they're just ridiculously. It's almost as if they're watching this really hamstrung. This is the best way I could put it. They're hamstrung, the commentators, by watching the mainstream with the UI blocking out the bottom half of the camera, and it makes no sense why it should be that way. I'll show you in like the font is way too big. It's 12. Their font is 12, and they have this amazing. Look at the potential. They have this amazing ability to have all, normally you have to select a single, you get only that for one single thing you select. They've got it for everything, which is amazing. And they piss it away by having the font pretty much the size of this. It's like, oh, people can't read, they're blind. It's like you've got full screen. There is no need to go with this. It just blocks everything out. And this just
pumped out by Vidra. You
look
can't
at it, like,
stop it. You can only slow it down.
Yeah, and even after they kill this, they're still going to have the two Scorpion Navy issues left. They're not.
You were lucky if you get any decent information, because of it's all. When they get close, it gets crowded out. This weird, bizarre thing they've got with the camera thing, it's not. It's like, we've got different camera angles. We're going to act like it's a newscast program where we just shift perspective all the time, and it's like you're not paying attention to actually what's going on. The focus, as you can see, is on this, but this completely hamstrings you because it gives this claustrophobic feel to it. You can't get good vision on it. Why you focus on the Barghest, which is the action. And in fact, when they spotted it, it wasn't actually it wasn't burning directly. It actually was going back and forth and not really heading straight for the money shot. Probably for tactical reasons, or maybe they had a strategic plan beforehand when they saw this comp. But yeah, right here, they took forever. One of the commentators spotted it when it was at terminal velocity. You had to take, this was their whole get up, and you should have spotted it here, at least. Once it started speeding up and going for it, you should have it's got an MWD, obviously going to try to bump. But no, they waited till the last minute, and the really bad thing about this, the horrible thing about it, was that the commentator who spotted this at the last second was yelled over by the other guy. He was pin, he wanted to say a bowling terminology. It's you didn't call it. The other guy called it. Give him the opportunity to flesh it out. And no, he just railroaded it with his, hey, I'm going to make the bowling thing with the strike. And it's like, but you just, and the camera work was crappy, and the font was too big. You're not learning anything about anything, because it would be that the Alliance tournament should be transparent. They'd be like, after the match, you can see the comps, you can see the fits, you can go of the winners and losers, right? The only way you can get it anything right now, it's in Jove space. It's being held in Jove space, so you've got the ability to go, okay, the system, and go to the system. I'll link it in the description, and then you can look at the comps of the chips that lost. So you don't know the Bargus fit. You don't have the ability to learn anything about it would be nice to watch, because it's a beautiful, if they fix this, like, seriously, I'm not bitching just a bitch. It's like, here, what they have is, whoops, let's drag it over here. I'll try to show you what I mean. Okay, so they have, sorry, they've got this system that is pretty much, I saved a backup of my files before screwing with it. Okay, so they've got this system that is literally, see if I've got it right. Right there, right? Put my finger there. Okay, so they've got a system right there. And it is, okay, so they've got the screen blacked out to here, right? So that means that what you're looking at is this chunked out, okay? So who in their right minds would put something that close to the center of your orbit thing, right? It doesn't make any damn sense. You're not going to get, it's, could you just remove that? And just look at it, like, objectively. Look at it objectively, not like, oh, he's whiny to whine. It's like, no, it's like, this is a horrible setup. Why is it's like, look at their skill plan panel. It's like lots of dead space. They're like, it's the laziest thing possible for them to do. And it's like, this should be like, look at it. It doesn't, they could shrink that, like, just lower the, like, not even that. Let's see how big this is. So if they just took that, right? If they just took that, and I'll just use my fingers on the screen to make sure I've got the right size. So, okay, so what we're talking about is, give me a sec here. Totally butchering my Eber preview here. Okay, so you've got this, all right? So you've got this, okay? So if you put it here, like, this is the size of your overview, right? Pretty much. Well, I'm assuming. So let's get rid of these now. Whoops, give me a sec. These. Okay, so what you've got is, if you, let's just work with it, right? So if we could truncate this, like, half it, like, just get rid of it somehow, like, make it half that size, or even less, for Christ's sake. I mean, what are they working with here, right? They've got this. I mean, for Christ's sake, it's like this freaking, it's nice that they have these, and they could probably, I don't know, overlap these points if possible. I don't know. Yeah, we'll deal with that in a, that's just a technical thing, right? They could deal with it by. We'll just go with their stupid font for now. Their oversized font for relaying information. Okay. And there's no transparency to it too, so it's like, oh god. So let's say, let's just ignore this stuff right here and just go with battle feed, right? Shut up. We don't need this. We don't need this. We just need this. We don't, like ship bands. You could have shown that in the beginning. Like this could be the beginning of it. Oh, I don't know. It's like, you don't need the ship bands. Why would you need ship bands? It means nothing to the viewers. Say it off first. It's just filler. It's objectively not needed. What we're going is what we're going. We're, it's, yes, that might be important for your commentary afterwards, but on the moment, it's like, talk about it. Don't show it, and especially don't show it the entire plane. You don't need to clutter your screen up. It's, oh god, it's just so bad. So here we are. Assuming they don't change a damn thing, you've got this, all right, which is a hell of a lot better than having this. It's horrible what they've done. So if you have it here and you have it here, the two sides, right, on either side. Oh, the poor deers can't strain their eyes. It's like, yeah, but this is a much better view. It's like a huge, like right here, you've got, and it's just, you won't even need this for Christ's sake. Yeah, put the time there for Christ's sake. So here you go. You've got, that's right. You've got a much wider, and you could, for Christ's sake, just, could you lower the font just a tiny frickin' bit? So here you go. You get this massive area you can watch, but they're like, we want widescreen because it's, a movie. And it's like, no, you don't. You don't need it at all. You need better camera work. That's what you need. What they like is, where is it? Here. It's like, oh, it's just wonderful. We can't crop this at all. It's like, yeah, you can actually. Just watch. Right here and here. I'll put my finger there. And that is right. Yeah, and the size of these bloody names, it's like, come on, guys, figure it out. So right here. And that is right here. So, yeah, even if you had 12 font, you wouldn't have constricted yourself. If you put it at the side, even if, like, this to here, right here is right here. You wouldn't be screwing yourself. You wouldn't be, that, just think about it. Like, objectively, they've done this from prior. This is just I believe it's just an old system. They just copied and pasted pretty much. Need some water. So, yeah. The font, the placement, the camera work are all fitting each other. Look at all the potential you have. And they won't even think about it. They haven't changed it forever. It's always been the same format, pretty much, the same camera work, the same BS. And it's like, it's not, you're obviously telegraphing to everybody that you have no idea what's going on. You don't have any combat experience. You're not following. That's the argument I had a long time ago. Like when I first tried to watch these years ago, it's like, you're not following the action. You're just playing around with your camera. You're not following the action. It's not hard. Like on a complicated, admittedly, I screwed up with the commentary for the tar battle with between I forget the names of them, but there were 4 entities at least on field, like with differing war decks going on, and I conflated 2 of them and was making commentary, and it was the wrong commentary. But I was at least trying to follow the action on a chaotic battlefield with multiple actors and multiple entities, and I had no, there was no readouts, there was no, there was no ability to say, okay, that person's, because it was my own, I had to go by not only my contact list, having to customize the contact list, but did I get everybody on the contact list who was I conflating 2 people who I'd set to light blue for convenience because I only had a couple of colors to work with on that side, and then the others I just had a couple of colors, and I'd screwed up and not realized that one entity was just focusing on a minor actor with a war deck with them, and the bigger entity didn't have a war deck with that person, and I assumed they did, and I was like, why are they? And it confused me. But this is simplistic. It's 2 sides. There's no issue at all. And it's not a chaotic battlefield. It's not like there's a whole bunch of entities fighting mini battles trying to get some kills in. This is just one simple thing. So it doesn't take a freaking genius to follow the action. And when you're new at PvP, it all is a blur, right? It's all noise. It's all sound. You can't tell the music from the static. And this is the problem. You are dealing with people who have no clue about how to follow the action properly, no clue about making predictions. They're playing it safe. They're protecting their own ass. They haven't a clue what they're talking about. And when they do, it's Captain Obvious. They're looking at this going, oh, that ship's dying, it's dead. Well, that was a good shot. And then you're like, the hell does that even mean? It's like they're not going, okay, looks like they're heading straight for, they're going to strip away the such and such, or they're going, I see ECM drones out, what kind of drones are they deploying, here we go. And the cameraman focuses in on what the commentators are talking about, if he had any sense, but it's not. It's scattershot, switching perspectives. Like, we're in this TV show and we're gonna switch perspective for no frickin' reason, because reasons, and it's this idiotic tactical camera viewpoint that it's when you go into tactical camera and you go track, like say that person, your camera is going to do this weird panoramic thing that is it's hard to control the camera frame, what it's framing. And that is the difficulty with this sort of lazy following thing, because they don't, what it is he's got stuck in on this and he doesn't want to switch it. And the really shitty thing is that he's got the perfect camera. He's got the ability to not only have his ship, basically the cameraman has got a ship, a virtual ship, right in the middle there that's probably doesn't have any collision stuff in it. It's just a camera. And he's got the tactical ability to see the tactical ring from his position, from his camera, from the middle of the grid, which just is amazing. You know, if you're an observer, you never get that ability to get the range from the middle of the action. It's just all this amazing stuff they've got, and they're just pissing it away because they're like, well, we're in camera mode, and yeah, we're not going to switch it up. And it's like, but it's not helpful. You don't know the ability to, the advantages of either camera. You're stuck in this tactical thing, and it sucks because they're like, well, we're just going to move over here and we're going to track that. And it's like, the hell are you doing? It's just, it's an awesome system that they have the tools to make it awesome, and they just don't, because they're lazy, and they're just pretending to be. They're not taking the tools and using them. They're going, oh, we're this big fancy esport people now, where we're gonna just, we're just gonna use the camera angle like a major newscaster would, by changing perspective and changing camera angle, because changing camera, because it's cool. And it's like, you're not showing us the action. Half of the screen is just cut out. You're orbiting. You don't have any control of it. You're not following the action. The commentators are doing post death. They commentate after the fact. They're not like, okay, there's the action, focus here. They're like, oh, something blew up, and you're like, what, where? And you can't see all the fits. You can't look at it afterwards, go, oh, okay, that's what they were thinking. No, you don't have an opportunity to do that. You don't have an opportunity to learn anything. If you want to learn something, you're not going to. What you're going to get is scattershot, maybe, hopefully, enough kills that can see the comp of the other side. But that Bargus, the Bargus didn't die, so you didn't get that fit and understood, oh, it was probably officer fit, so there's no way of replicating that. That was a good fit. They probably were trying for something, and they might have realized that they needed to bump a golem alternative, which the Navy Scorpion issues apparently were. The commentators were talking about. I haven't been watching the entire tourney, so the commentators had an advantage over me, because I did not. Yeah, it's all about, oh, we're gonna ban this. It's like, oh, okay, great. So yeah, it's like, that's the only advantage the tournament commentators have over people like me, is like, they follow the entire tourney. They've got all the list of bans. That helps. That was the only advantage of this whole thing. Them talking about the banned ships. It's like, that was it that you learned. But what did you learn? Nothing. Were you able to tell me how they dispersed, how they deployed, where they went, what kind of range control was going on? Nothing. It was just, oh, that ship blew up, yay, and you're like, what the hell? So that's why I didn't like it at all. Let's start from the beginning, and I'll just turn off this stupid idiot. Well, I'll turn them down. No, I'll just turn them off. Okay, so you've got 3 Scorpion Navy issue. You've got a MOA. Like, what was the MOA's purpose? Did it die right away? Like, it's like, can you piece together what was going on? Like, did the MOA die? Yeah, didn't the MOA die early on? I think I was following that action. So it was an in-your-face kit, but it didn't have any prompt mod. Interesting. Maybe it was just there to soak up damage, like a meat shield. I'm assuming. Alright. And the skybreakers, what were they using the skybreakers for, and how were they fit, right? So you're like, oh, that's interesting. Of course, you hardly get any losses from. Okay. So they were micro-warp drive. And so they were the tackle with buffer, basically, with that being the only resist boost. What did they have for Moa, Skyraptor, Kieran? So the two Kierans probably there to... Did they lose a Kieran? Can we... I think so, right? Whoa. Wait, what? Well, why did... Atrophy, General Hungary? The hell? Are you allowed to... That is so bizarre. Okay, whatever. I didn't realize you could be outside of the entity to play with them? What is that? Is that a... How did they get around that? That makes no sense. Why would you... Nah, never mind. So what is the range? I'm sure it has more than enough range. Oh yeah, for sure. There's no worries about range there. All right. How many can you shove in there? All right. So 2,000 meters per second, and it can do... Oh, wait. So it's got optimal range within 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers. Okay. 28. What? 250. What the? Why isn't it? Is the game really that stupid? I thought it would tell me reps per cycle. Whatever. Maybe. Whatever. I don't care. Jesus. It's like, did they nerf something with the info system, or I just wasn't noticing? Shield bonus 187 every 3 seconds. Okay, so less than 500 every 3 seconds. So yeah, that's not going to do much. Jesus. Whatever. All right. Okay, so it, as you can see, once you realize, like, just watch. I've got 10 font. This is my stand. I haven't fiddled with it at all. Let's close these out. Yeah, don't need to see that. Whoop-de-doo. Okay, so here is okay, so here's mine, right? I haven't adjusted it at all, right? Now they've got the ability to remove the distance, right? We can't have the ability to do that. And let me just jigger around with the overview settings here and see if I can show you what the potential they have for getting rid of, like, this is a major, like, annoyance for me that I can't. Sometimes you don't care about the range, right? But you don't got no choice. All right, so chip type. They've got ship name. They don't have the corp ticker. Okay, so they've just got that, but they've gotten rid of this too, right? Trying to figure out why it's all the way over there. I think I did something. How did I do that? Maybe it's there. No. Why is it displaced all that? Damn it. Alright, so public fleet and pilot name. Add line break. Wait. Line break. Okay. Corp ticker. There we go. Maybe that was it when I moved the range. So you don't have the range. You've just got the name. And this is font 8, right? They had it at font 12. Okay. They've got it at font 12. There's no need. That's 8, sorry. There we go, that's better. That was like, wait. Yeah. So I typically have my ship type and pilot name at font 10. This is font 12. It's significantly bigger. Like, I'm not kidding you. It really is that big. Like, look. It really is that big. They really do have it at 12. And it's unnecessary. It gets in the way. What are you doing? It doesn't make any. It's like you are not. It's not like they're acting as though if we're looking at a major sports event, this would be their placard in the back, on their back, their huge placard on their back. Oh, just, that's their thinking. They are being way too pretentious here, and not enough. Let's help the audience see what the hell's going on. They're not interested in that, and that's the problem. They are acting like they've already got the award for best esports, and that's their whole mentality. It just seeps. It doesn't matter how you window dress it. It's just that. It's just horrible. And they could have done so much with that. And just keep in mind this blockage right here, right? It works great here because if you look at it, it's like, it looks like that's the center. They've somehow, like that literally looks like centered, right? Like how much distance between the two? Like seriously. Like it's a bit, there's a bit more room up here, but they've pretty much got it almost centered here. So if they could have held that somehow, and I think it's just because they've jiggered it for this initial view, but after that it just falls apart because you're just missing, like, it's just, this is the center and then blah, it just doesn't work at all. And like I said, they could have easily moved it over here. This right here, I'll put my finger there, is right here. And you've got, you've got tons of room. That would have, the edge of the screen would have been, like literally, it's like, why aren't you, like it's right here, be right here. So you would have been seeing a truncated view on the sides right here and here, but it would have worked. Like everything they did, it would have worked. If they moved this here and this here, it would absolutely have worked. 100%. It's just, they're just being lazy. This is from before. They have not iterated on it at all. They're like, we're enough, we look cool. And it's like, this looks like a sports center, a sports ticker. I'm sure they just copied this format off some newscast for esports and like, oh, this is great. And it's like, it doesn't work in this environment. What are you doing? So anyways, so we know what's going to happen. These scorpions are going to burn towards the action, start firing. Their Barghest has the capability of bumping. Did they plant